What's up, everybody? This your boy Poodle from PoodleTV.com. I'm with Noisey's own Zach. How do you say your last name? Is it
Goldbaum. It's often mispronounced.
Okay, Mr. Goldbaum. So tell me, how did you come up with the Noisey brand and gotten it this far?
Oh, I certainly didn't come up with the Noisey brand. The Noisey brand existed well before I even started
Were you
at Vice.
a host? Listen.
Well, so I came up sort of in a weird way. I was working at Vice as I was at the bottom tier. I worked my way up from the bottom. I was a production assistant. Mm-hmm. I worked in the gear room. Mm-hmm. I hosted a couple small online things, and then the executive producer, who really is the sort of creative mind behind this, Andy Capper, who started Vice UK, gave me a call. Asked me if I wanted to host the series, and that's how it happened.
Well, was you destined to do this? Because, a guy like you, should be somewhere in the corporate world, business world, but you chose hip-hop. Why did you choose to be a part of hip-hop and also cover a lot of the mainstream artists in hip-hop and rap?
I mean, in terms of choosing to cover the mainstream artists in hip-hop, we just want to cover whoever is the most relevant of the moment. And in terms of my interest in it, I'm a kid from the suburbs, mm-hmm. and if you look at who, hip-hop fans come in all stripes, mm-hmm. And I grew up in suburban Maryland outside of D.C., and I got into it when I was young, and I've been a super fan ever since. And then, so this has just been sort of a dream opportunity for me. But in terms of covering big artists, it's we just go for whoever we can, and then we sort of work our way back down, and oftentimes we get lucky.
So my first episode I saw of you guys, it was with you. You was following 2 Chainz around on his day-to-day. I think you was in his studio with his Maybach, and you guys followed him to a show. So different artists like that. What was your favorite episode of watching Noisey and also hosting it?
It definitely wasn't the one with 2 Chainz, because that was a different guy. That was Thomas Morton.
Okay.
It was another dude with glasses. But I don't really have a favorite episode. I mean, the timing of the Kendrick Lamar piece was really incredible, because he's one of the most significant, talented artists in the world right now. And when we met him, it was just sort of on the cusp of him releasing To Pimp a Butterfly, and so that was a very special time. It was also my first time hosting something of this sort of stature, and so that was really incredible. But everything from going down to Brazil and meeting really artists that nobody knows in the States, but seeing such a vibrant scene down there, and then Jamaica covering Vibes Cartel and Popcon and Chronics and everything that's happening there. I love all the episodes in different ways.
So explain the difficulties with Atlanta too. We just saw, the documentary, and you have a lot of up and coming artists as far as 21 Savage, you have Young Thug. However, these people could be difficult because, when I saw you trying to interview Young Thug, he hate interviews and he wouldn't give you a conversation. So talk about the difficulties with getting these artists to open up, because it's so hard to do.
Well, sometimes I fail at that. Mm-hmm. That's part of, I think, what makes Noisey unique, is we try to show our failures as well as our successes on camera for the world to see, and sometimes it could be moderately humiliating for me. But that's a part of the challenge. Like Killer Mike said in the piece, Prince doesn't do interviews. Mm-hmm. Or, rest in peace, didn't do interviews, and Young Thug is a superstar. I'm not saying he's Prince. He's a young artist. He's a long career ahead of him, but artists are sensitive, they're shy, they want to be perceived well, they want to be liked, a creative mind. So I think that's the challenge. It's just talking to people who are guarded and then just trying to be disarming. And I think I'm certainly not an intimidating person, so I try to be disarming and just my regular demeanor.
So my last question is, out of all of the things that you've been around in hip-hop, who has taught you a major lesson? And if you can say which artist, just explain the lesson that artists have taught you that you carry on to this day.
Oh man, that's a big question, but Killer Mike, this is just front of mind right now, but Killer Mike, I think, taught me a lesson about making sure that we paint a full picture of an artist. I think in previous episodes, sometimes we go for the the shiny thing in the room, so to say, the things that people sort of, the colorful stuff that people make music about, whether it be guns, drugs, criminality. And I think we sort of, it catches everybody's eye. But I think Killer Mike really made a point to say you need to paint a full picture of artists, and that's what we try to do in this piece, and say, it came from the trap, it came from a certain place, but it's gone on to be massively successful, a commercial enterprise, and that's something that makes it great.
All right, so when can we catch this documentary? Because I was privileged enough to see, the screening beforehand. So when is everybody's going to catch out this amazing piece?
February 7th on Viceland, Tuesday night. It's coming Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, 10 p.m.
All right, 10 p.m. This your boy, PoodaTV.com, Zach Goldbaum.